Welcome to Dashing Dish. There's nothing I love more than feeding people, but even more so, I love to gather with my family and share a meal with them. The big question is, what's on the menu? Our family-inspired dinner includes a family favorite bringing in flavors we all love, baked pizza chicken, crispy cheesy broccoli, even the non-veggie eaters will love, Caesar salad with a protein-packed homemade dressing that only takes a few minutes to whip up, and no family meal would be complete without dessert. This gluten-free chocolate chip cookie icebox cake is delicious and prepared in under 15 minutes. I'm Katie Farrell. We're bringing back the joy of family meals with recipes that are delicious and healthy. Well, today's show is all about family time. So I have my mom here with me, and we're gonna be cooking one of our family's favorites, which is pizza chicken. Mom, I feel like every time I have you come over to my house for dinner, I make pizza chicken.
It's true.
I can't even say that without laughing because I'm like, oh, Mom and Dad are coming over for dinner. What should I make? Tacos or pizza chicken? About as creative as I get. And what I think is so funny about that is I make recipes for a living, so you would think I would have all these novel ideas, but I just go back to my go-tos, and I'm sure a lot of you do that as well. It's just very easy to fall back on what you know everybody likes.
It's true. It's a good thing I like it.
Yes, I mean, who doesn't like pizza? And then you add chicken to it, and it's just a wonderful home family style meal. So it just reminds me of comfort because it's just warm and cheesy. For this recipe, you'll need 2 pounds of chicken, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1 jar of marinara sauce, 4 slices of cheese, 1/2 cup of pepperoni, and 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna start by pounding out some chicken breasts. You just wanna get them all about the same size in thickness so that they'll cook evenly. If you have one really thick chicken breast and one that's really thin, they're gonna cook different times. You're gonna have a chewy chicken and then one that's undercooked and raw. So that's why we do pound them out, is to make them all about the same. So I have a meat pounder, Ziploc bag will work, or you can use a rolling pin, anything that you got, and you can take out some stress from your day. Mom, while you're pounding those out, I'm gonna spray a baking dish with some cooking spray. And before you even put it inside, we're gonna layer about, I'd say, a cup or maybe about 2 cups of the marinara sauce at the bottom of the baking dish. And that way you can just add the chicken directly to the baking dish and right on top of the sauce.
This is a good way to get your aggressions out.
Yeah, get a way to get stress out.
Aggression,
for sure.
stress.
The reason we are adding a little bit of sauce on the bottom of the dish is that just helps keep the moisture in the chicken. If you just put it on top, it's gonna be a little bit dry underneath. All right, so that looks good. And then we're just gonna add our seasonings to the chicken. And that will season the chicken as it's cooking. So I just did 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Then I'm gonna top it with some cheese. I have provolone cheese, but you could do mozzarella, you could do, even shredded cheese would be fine. But provolone, I feel like it melts the best, so that's why I use provolone. So you'll just wanna kind of cover the chicken with the cheese. And then we're gonna top it with the rest of the sauce. So easy. You can also make this in the crock pot. So I do have a crock pot version on my website because I found that this recipe is so loved in our family that I was like, how can I make it in various versions and create it in different ways so that we can enjoy it in different ways? So I'm just gonna go ahead and spread the sauce so that it's covering the chicken. And Mom, I think my favorite thing about you guys coming over for dinner and just having family dinners in general is it really does cut off all distractions. And in our day and age, I feel like distractions are everywhere, aren't they?
Absolutely. And especially, and I think you and I have talked about it, the phone. So, being together means phones down, phones put away, so that we can actually have conversation.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like it's so easy to kind of just put your head down and get distracted and lost in your phone without you even realizing that time has flown by. Do you want to add the pepperoni? You can just kind of make it look pretty. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
Okay.
But it really does force you to kind of just look up and look at each other and have meaningful conversations.
Absolutely.
And I find that that's one of the things that's really kind of lacking these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even when people get together, even in family settings and in group settings, it's so easy to just kind of like zone out and be on your phone or just be distracted in general, turn on the TV or whatnot. So that's something that we do really prioritize in our family. Even in just my family with Sean and the kids, every night we turn off every screen. There can't be a screen at the table ever. We turn on worship music and we just talk. And we even have these little family cards, family time cards. It prompts questions. So Maddie runs and get those and she'll just ask questions like, what's your favorite book? And what was the favorite part of your day? So that really does help. If you need some engaging questions, just think of some really fun ways to do that. And then it gets conversation rolling. And you'll be surprised at some of the conversations and some of the answers and the questions that come out. And it really does draw you closer together as a family.
Absolutely.
So you'll want to bake this 400 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. When it comes to broccoli, my family is all a fan, but not just any broccoli, because if I was gonna put some broccoli down on a plate, I guarantee you none of the kids would dig in. So I've made a broccoli that is crispy and cheesy and all the kids devour it. For this recipe, you'll need 1 package of broccoli, 2 egg whites, 1/3 cup of Parmesan, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I'm gonna start with just some frozen broccoli that I already thawed slightly. You could always use fresh. This is about 4 cups of broccoli. So if you wanna use fresh, you'll just need about 4 cups of broccoli with the actual florets. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that on a sheet pan. And what makes this broccoli crispy is actually egg whites. So I'm gonna just put 2 egg whites into a bowl. And it gets it nice and crispy, and it also causes the cheese and the seasonings to really stick on to the broccoli. So I promise you, this is a way to get your kids to eat broccoli. At least it is with mine. I'm telling you right now, Maddie was not a fan of not even a single veggie, not even carrots. Whereas most kids, I feel like they will at least eat a carrot. She would not eat carrots, nothing. But I kept trying, and I would have her just try a bite of this broccoli. And eventually, over time, she started to say, hey, I really like this. Now, what I purposely did is I picked the pieces with the most cheese, with the most Parmesan, and I gave those to her. And then, she slowly but surely started to say, hey, can I have a little bit more of that? So I added a little more broccoli to the plate instead of Parmesan, and she absolutely is now a huge fan of this Parmesan broccoli. So I'm just kind of coating the broccoli in the egg whites. You could also just pour the egg whites right onto the pan over the broccoli, but I'm just trying to kind of get it all coated. So I'm just gonna put the broccoli into the egg whites just like this and kind of stir it till it's combined. Okay, that looks good. Right now this does not look great, but it's the key. It's kind of like the glue to get everything to stick together and get nice and crispy. So then we got our Parmesan cheese. And this is what makes it so good. And then we have garlic powder, a little bit of salt, just a 4th teaspoon of salt because the Parmesan cheese is really salty. And then we're gonna kind of toss it all together. And you can see how that sticks really good, the cheese and the seasonings, because of the egg whites. Again, it's just gonna get it nice and crispy. And then we're gonna spread it out evenly so that it's kind of, nothing is really overlapping on the pan. And then we're gonna roast this 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until it's nice and crispy. Coming up next, no family dinner is complete without a great salad. This Caesar salad is made with all real food ingredients and a clean-eating, protein-packed dressing, all prepared in less than 15 minutes. So Mom, along with our pizza chicken and our broccoli, we're making a protein-packed Caesar salad. And this is gonna be just the perfect side for our meal, because what I like about pizza chicken with a Caesar salad is it kind of just blends together. I don't know what it is, like the freshness of the lettuce with the pizza chicken, it's just good. For this recipe, you'll need 1 cup of Greek yogurt, 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. For the croutons, you'll need 1/2 loaf of sourdough, 1 tablespoon of avocado oil, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. For the salad, you'll need 12 ounces of romaine lettuce and 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. So what makes this recipe kind of different from the traditional Caesar salad is there's a protein-packed dressing. And really the base of it is Greek yogurt, which is the thing that makes it protein-packed. And we make homemade healthy croutons with sourdough.
And your sourdough bread is my favorite.
And if you do happen to make sourdough, or you know someone who does make it, that's even better. Fresh sourdough.
Yes.
So Mom, I'll just have you cut up the romaine lettuce and put it in the bowl while I get started on the dressing. This dressing is super easy because it's just a few simple ingredients that you probably have on hand in your pantry and your fridge. We have Greek yogurt, mustard, Worcestershire sauce. Say that 3 times fast. Worcestershire. I always have to look up the spelling of Worcestershire sauce when I put it into my recipes on my website. I literally don't know how to spell it. I'm like, oh dear. Saying it and spelling it. Whoever invented that, I want to meet that person. So we're gonna add just some salt, garlic powder, lemon juice, Parmesan cheese, just so simple. And like I said, you probably have most of this right on hand. So a lot of times I think people buy sauces and dressings because they think it's just not worth the effort. But this is so easy to make.
And delicious too, truly.
Yes. And speaking of taking the effort, I feel like something that not a lot of people, especially friends that I have that have little kids, do anymore is sit down and eat dinner together. A lot of times people are just too busy. They have sports, they have dance, they have after school activities, all kinds of things that makes it really hard to just sit down and have a meal together. In fact, when I take Maddie to ballet, a lot of times I see people eating just part of their dinner when they're sitting on the little bench watching their kids do dance, and I'm thinking, oh, this is probably part of their dinner. So, you know, and not that there's any judgment to that, but one of the things I really appreciated when we were growing up was you always did make it a priority to sit down and have dinner as a family.
No matter how busy we were.
Yes.
It was the one time that we really got to connect.
Yes.
And you guys were busy too. I don't think as busy as the kids today, but certainly we made it a priority any night of the week we could, and Sundays were always a priority.
Yes. And I think even if you can't do it every single night of the week, at least making it something that you do on the weekends or a few times a week, like, you know, the nights that you don't have sports or whatever, I think it's really important to make that time.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I feel like during a meal, you know, just asking a few questions, the kids really do open up and talk.
It's true. Yes, for sure. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this dressing on the lettuce before we put our croutons on. And that way we can kind of toss it in the dressing. And I actually made the homemade sourdough croutons part of this recipe because I just recently got into sourdough making myself. And once you try sourdough croutons, cinnamon rolls, bread, you name it, you can make it with sourdough. You will never go back to store-bought stuff because it's just so much better.
It's true. I've tried your creations. We've tried sourdough pizza. I think one day when I was babysitting, I tried one of Sean's sourdough cinnamon rolls. That was really delicious.
Yes, yes.
And you're right, there is no going back.
It's true.
I was actually at a local farmer's market this weekend and picked someone else's sourdough bread up. It doesn't compare to Dashing Dishes.
Well, thank you, Mom. Maybe that's just because you're my mom. But one of the things that I really do feel like I did take from you is family dinners, because we do that as a family. Even though we're busy, even though we have places to go, I really do make it a priority. And I will say, I have guarded our time when it comes to after school time. You know, I do homeschool Maddie, but I only homeschool her a few days a week. She still goes to school a few days a week as well. And I just really make sure from the time that she gets home or the time that school is over that we really do make that family time. And Sean puts his computer away. He's an entrepreneur, so he can really work any hour that he wants to, which sometimes people think is good, but it's not always good. Sometimes the problem with that is you work all the time. There's no shut off. And so Sean will put his computer away. I'll make sure that I'm done with work and everything I need to do right around dinner time so we can sit down and have a meal. I also schedule sports or anything that the kids are doing in a time frame where I know it doesn't interfere with dinner, because it really is something that I've seen is such a blessing to our family. And it's something that I've really carried on and learned from you. So Mom, you can go ahead and drizzle some avocado oil on the bread. I like avocado oil because it really is one of the cleanest oils. And it also can go really high in temperature, so it's not gonna burn. Olive oil, on the other hand, you actually can't go past, I think it's like 400 degrees is the highest temperature you wanna cook with that. So avocado oil is what I have at my house just because you can use it for a wide variety of things, even baking. And then we'll do some garlic powder and some salt when you're done with that. And I will mention, I did dress the salad with the dressing. However, if you're gonna serve this, let's say next day, you'll definitely wanna wait to put the dressing on until the day that you serve it, because it's gonna kind of wilt the lettuce. And I do have some extra Parmesan cheese that I'll put on top. I even like to shave or shred my own Parmesan cheese. Have you ever done that, Mom?
I have. It's delicious.
It is. It's actually like 10 times better tasting. So we're gonna roast these croutons 425 degrees for 10 minutes.
All right, here we go.
Coming up next, there's no doubt the kids' favorite part of the meal is dessert. This chocolate chip cookie icebox cake presents beautifully and is ready in under 15 minutes. So Mom, we're gonna make a cookie icebox cake for our dessert. And why I picked this one for our dessert recipe is because, well, let's face it, we love whipped cream in our family.
We love it.
We do.
Even the dogs like it.
Yes. We have a thing in our family, and we just like literally say this is part of our heritage, is where we shoot the whipped cream in our kids' mouth when they come by the fridge. So whipped cream is just, it runs deep in our veins. And so anytime I think about a family dinner, I'm thinking, how can I incorporate whipped cream? So this is gonna be really easy to make. It's a no-bake dessert. So this is something that you can make if you're like, oh, people are coming over for dinner. I didn't think about dessert, what should I make? You can just whip this together, pop it in your fridge, and it's ready to go. For this recipe, you'll need 1 package of cookies, 1 package of cream cheese, 1/4 cup of sweetener, 1/4 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, and 1 8-ounce container of whipped cream. So you can layer some cookies on the bottom of a pan. You can really choose any kind of cookies you like. I like Simple Mills almond flour cookies. I use those all the time because they're made with almond flour, and that way you don't have to make your own cookies. But there are a ton of healthier versions of cookies today. Just look at the ingredients, try and find something that's a little bit lower in sugar and something with as few ingredients as possible, and you're probably heading in the right direction. And I'm gonna make the chocolate mousse layer for this. So to start, I'm just gonna add some softened cream cheese to a bowl. I like using 1/3 less fat or organic or even Greek yogurt cream cheese if I can find it. And then some whipped topping. So whipped cream, you could either beat your own, make your own, or there are a few different brands out there now that are made with coconut milk and a little bit better for you ingredients than just the typical whipped topping. And then some sweetener, some milk, and some cocoa powder. So simple. And I'm gonna give this a little bit of a gentle stir before I use my hand mixer because I have a feeling this is gonna go everywhere. The other day I was actually making a chocolate frosting and I knew better than to stick my mixer directly into the cocoa powder. And what do you know? I thought, well, I can make it happen. I've been cooking long enough. I can pull this off. And sure enough, the cocoa powder flew everywhere.
It sounds like a big mess.
It basically was a part of my makeup for the day.
You know what I love about this recipe? It looks so simple.
Yes, so simple. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and finish beating this. Okay, that looks really good. So what you want to look for is that the cream cheese is mostly blended in. Like there might be a few little speckles of cream cheese in there. That's okay, it all blends together anyway. Same with the cookies, they don't have to be perfectly lined up. You just want to try and get things kind of as even as possible because it really does just all kind of blend when you scoop it out. Mom, do you want to kind of pour some in? If I hold it, you can kind of, or you hold it. How about you hold it?
Do I get to lick the bowl?
You want me to help you?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. Yes, I always let Ollie lick the spoon, the beaters, whatever it is.
Stuff.
And then what do you know? He's just such a happy camper because he thinks I just gave him the world. Little does he know he's missing the whole dessert on the counter. So the nice thing about having a toddler is they still can't see what's up above. They can only see what's down below. So whatever you give them, they think that they're getting everything.
Cute.
Okay, so yeah, once you get that kind of scooped in there, then we'll top it with some additional cookies.
And maybe have you hold it just for the end, just so I can get that little bit out.
That sounds good. Sometimes you do need some help there. But when it comes to desserts, our family does love dessert, don't we?
Yes, unfortunately
and
we do.
I did not know that not all families love dessert or even partake in dessert for family meals. I thought that was just like normal because that's what we grew up, and we didn't have it every single weeknight, but for every special occasion, definitely. Until I married Sean, and his family is not into sweets.
I know what it is. We had sweets rarely, so it was such a treat. And he grew up with candy bars in every kitchen.
That's true.
In every kitchen drawer.
True. He did have an actual candy bar drawer growing up. I know because we started dating when we were 16, and so I was frequently over there as a teenager. So I was always in amazement that they had an actual drawer with candy bars. I thought, wow, I've never thought of that before.
That's right. So it wasn't as attractive to him because he could have it any time.
I guess that's true. Now, Mom, you did put a lot of the cookies on the bottom layer, which is perfectly fine. Again, this is all going to kind of blend together, but you could essentially do a few less cookies or even add more cookies to the recipe, and you could do 2 full layers of cookies, and you could even kind of stretch this mousse layer and do it between a few layers of cookies, kind of like a lasagna, but this is going to be delicious. What I love about this is the longer it sits in the fridge, it almost kind of the cookies soften a little bit, almost like a tiramisu, and it with the whipped cream is just like the perfect bite.
You notice I love some in the bowl just for me.
Yes, I mean, this is actually probably the best part right here. Let's be honest. Okay, so we're just kind of crumbling the rest of the cookies. That works too because it looks delicious. It's gonna taste delicious. And I don't know anyone that wouldn't like this dessert. Chocolate whipped cream with cookies. I mean,
it's pretty delicious.
And so easy. So Mom, let's put this in the fridge. We can get things together, go pick up the kids from school, and then let's have a little sit down with you, me, Em, and the kids.
Sounds great.
Well, I feel the greatest gift I could give is to make food, especially healthy food, for my family. And I'm so glad that we got to make this meal together today, and now we get to enjoy it. Ame, you just come sit with Mom. Okay. I hope I inspired you to do the same today. If you like these recipes and more, you can head over to dashanddish.com. It's as quick and simple as I could get it out. I was like, just get it done.